let's get into it. Bonjour, friends. We're back with, I think it's my 4th book review. Third? You get the gist. Anyways, last time when I did this, I forgot to mention one of the books I'd read in that time for some reason, even though I wrote it down to specifically speak about this one as well. But I'm going to go over that today. So these are all the books I've read in the past month, apart from the top one, which I read in the month prior. 6. I've read 6 books in the past month and a half. It's so funny because I remember at the beginning of this year I was like just read 1 book a month, like you have to get back into it, and I'm here reading 6 in 6 weeks, so fun. Anyways, let's just get straight into it because I have nothing else to say. Also, if you see my bra, no you didn't. So the one that I missed when I was discussing my last few books I read in those couple months was Stranger Things, Darkness on the Edge of Town. I read the first one. I can't remember if I've spoken about it on here. I read the first one and then I read this one, and I think there's another one, I can't remember, but I love everything to do with Stranger Things, so for me it was just a really easy read. I love how it's written because it's so simple, and it's not like, as much as you want background on the show and like the characters, at least I know I do, it's not like you're being thrown 100 pieces of info. Why can't I speak? 100 pieces of information, which is always good because my brain can't not take that much. But anyways, yeah, I loved it. It was really sweet. This one specifically, so I loved the first one. I think I prefer the first one. The first one was basically about Elle's mum. I love that one. It was set in like the 60s, I believe. This one is David Harbour's character, Hopper, his past with his wife and his child and all that jazz. Basically though, it's about just like that life. Like, it's not, how do I put it? It's not like you're being told secrets about them or things that you should know to watch the show. It's more just little stories about their past. It's not like how he became a cop or, you know, how he met his wife. It's more so just a story when all of that was his life and his reality. But yeah, I loved it. It's a 4 out of 5 for me, just because like Stranger Things isn't written, if that makes sense. Like, it would take a lot for this to be a 5 out of 5, but it was a 4 out of 5, so that was good enough for me. Anyways, on to what I've actually read recently and can probably say more about. So, The Little Book of Dior. If you aren't aware, there's a little series, no pun intended, called The Little Books of, and it's all about fashion. So there's a Little Book of Chanel and so on and so forth. With the first one I got was The Little Book of Dior. This was just before my birthday. I bought this for myself, and actually all of these I think I got for my birthday apart from the last 2, so that was fun. But The Little Book of Dior, I would say again 4 out of 5. It's so cute, it's so like pretty inside, and it's just full of facts. So it's not like a fun book, but it's full of facts if you want to know about Dior and its past, and if you're interested in fashion the way I am, and many people are, this is a good place to start. I didn't know this, I'm getting into fashion more, so this is a cute little beginners to knowledge of high fashion, I guess. But yes, I loved it, very cute. Yeah, not like a fun book, but a factual book. So anyways, next, I think I read this one next. This book, Conversations on Love by Natasha Lunn. Where do I begin with this book? I honestly want to give this book a 5 out of 5. I looked up the reviews and they weren't that good, and most of these I have planned to buy prior. This one, I was in the bookstore and I was like, why am I red and itchy everywhere? Like, it's just not that hot. Like, come on. Anyways. Oh my god, why am I bruised everywhere? What is going on with my body? The fuck? Anyways, The cover really caught my eye, and pretty covers are the bane of my life. They're so beautiful. Look how beautiful this is. The colors, the layout, oh, it's stunning. And then when you open it, I don't know if you can see that, but hold on. It's too sunny, I'm sorry. Yeah, look at that. Marble. It's like a marble pattern design. Oh, it's gorgeous. Anyways, so I was just breathtaking with the look of it, and I was like, I need to read this, I think. And I read the blurb, and it's basically a woman, Natasha Lunn. It's non-fiction, and it's like one large essay on love, and she interviews several people about these different types of love and their experiences. So it touches on loss and grief, and it touches on relationships, but it also touches on friendships and family and things like miscarriages, and it's very deep, but it's very beautiful at the same time, and I truly enjoyed it, and I feel like I was learning a lot about myself whilst reading it. It's definitely my cup of tea, so like when I looked at it and I read the blurb, I was like, there's a reason I found this. My favorite quote from this book is, "It's not enough to love someone, you always have to show it." And that's so true. And in my current life, in present day, this is something that I'm learning I need from other people. I've always been one to show my love and affection, and I think that's because I grew up around parents who did that, and so I'm realizing that I need that. I need people to show me that they love me, and I'm aware that people don't grow up around so much love and affection and attention the way that I did, and I'm very lucky for that. But this is something that we all have to realize, that love is not enough, and we always have to constantly prove our love without someone asking for us to do that. It is the small things, but it's also the big things, you know, and it's not just gifts, and it's, you know, I could really get into a really big rant, but yeah, I love this book, and it's not one of my favorites, but it's still a very good read in my opinion. Next we have one I've wanted for like 2 years, In Paris by, I cannot say the name for the life of me. I'm not even gonna try, because I know I'm gonna offend so many French people, even though people think I'm like, also, yeah, my hair is drenched, and yeah, I sit like the Hunchback of Notre Dame, but it's because I'm trying to fit into this frame, because it zooms in so much. But anyways, shut up. We knew that it's a thing for me to shower and then film. Like, I just feel better after showering to film. But anyways, this book, I wanted this book because one of my favorite ever books is How to Be a Parisian, which is by one of the same people, or both of them. I can't remember, I think it's just one of them. But anyways, yeah, How to Be a Parisian is one of my favorite books. It's fun, lighthearted, as I've said before, everything I read is non-fiction at the moment. The last non-fiction thing I read was the Stranger Things one, but yeah, I wanted this after reading How to Be a Parisian. I definitely prefer How to Be a Parisian. This, In Paris, was very pretty to look at. It's a bunch of interviews with a bunch of different women of a bunch of different ages from or in Paris, and how they portray themselves. It's cool, but I think the point was cute. I just don't think there was much of a point to it. Does that make sense? I don't know if it makes sense. I'd give this like a 3.5 out of 5. Yeah, very pretty, a cute read, but not anything too special. How to Be a Parisian, just so much better. I love that fucking book. Okay, next, Period Power by Maisie Hill. This fucking book, 5 out of 5. Period Power is all about the menstrual cycle. Why did I struggle to say that? The menstrual cycle and ovaries and shit like that. So if you have those things, this pertains to you. But this book was just so enlightening and fun. Obviously it's non-fiction and it's literally just a bunch of fucking facts. It's very science based. She's a professional writing about this stuff, but it was so nice to read a book about periods which mentioned endometriosis and polycystic ovaries. Oh, it was a breath of fresh fucking air. It was so nice to be able to like feel recognized for my issues. She is very much against, it's clear, even though she says it's completely up to you, she makes it clear that, you know, it's your body, your choice, but she also makes it clear that she's very against the pill. And what I would say about that when you go into reading this is, if you haven't tried the pill, the reasons you should be trying the pill, aside from contraception, would be for endo and PCOS, which I have. I would say if the doctors are prescribing it to you as medication like they do for me for my ovarian conditions, is try it. Don't read things like this and go, okay, no pill, never pill, no, no, no. Because believe me, I've had PCOS since I was 14. My mother is like a little hippie. The amount of herbal spiritual shit I have tried to help and fix my period just doesn't work to the extent that I need it to work. The thing is, if it's not that bad, it could work, but mine's awful. I was getting hospitalized over and over, so I needed something extreme, and the pill has been an absolute blessing in my life. I don't know if it's literally right there next to my bed. It's just been the biggest fucking blessing. I feel like a normal human being. That's not to say it's gonna, you know, I want to have kids, so I'm gonna have to come off it, and coming off of it might be a nightmare, and God knows. And it is scary going on the pill, because like she says in this, like you're having withdrawal periods, like they're not actual periods. But I'm okay with that, because what I was having before was worse, so no thank you. I will go back to natural shit one day, but as a student, as someone who was suffering immensely in health and mental health because of what I was going through, I needed it, and I'm very grateful for it, and we'll just see how that changes. So I would say don't read this if you're going into research about the pill, because it's very, she does include loads of facts, but it's also very opinionated. Don't read anything about the pill, just speak to a professional, your doctor, your GP, about things like that. But aside from that point, I love this book. She talks about things that will help you, things that won't help you. She talks about every type of ovarian or menstrual related condition you could have, and so on and so forth. And she talks about it. The thing is, for me, is she talks about the cycle, and obviously I'm not on a normal cycle because I'm on the pill, so I couldn't relate to it, and it didn't help me in that sense, but it was just refreshing to read positive facts, I guess. My favorite bit in this, and I love it so much, is that she says people with polycystic ovaries and endometriosis should never be doing extreme exercise. And my whole life I've been told you need to do extreme exercise, like obviously not overwork yourself, but you have to do so much exercise every day, every week. It's gonna make you feel better. No. She said no. Okay? Yoga and dance are perfect for endo and PCOS, her words. And that's exactly what I've been doing. When you listen to your body, oh, miracles. I've been doing that, and she's right, it is the only thing that helps, because I have tried to do, like this year and last year obviously because of quarantine, but in general, like wanting to focus on like helping myself, I went into like bouts of working out consistently. When I say I felt like hell, my body was rejecting exercise so much. But when I do yoga or I dance, my body feels energized, it feels rested, it feels good. And that's how you know, like, that's what you're supposed to be doing. So don't listen to, you know what, just don't listen to anyone. I think it's always important to do research and read things and speak to professionals, but the only thing you should really be listening to is your body, which is why I ate cookies this morning for breakfast. I wanted to leave this to last, but it wasn't the last book that I read, so I'm not going to leave it to last. It's second to last, I kind of can't throw it. I'm Trained by Patti Smith. Guys, I did it. I read another Patti Smith book. If you have watched my last video, I said I didn't want to read another Patti Smith book since I read Just Kids last year, because it is my favorite book on the planet and I hate finishing her books. Just Kids is definitely my favorite book of hers still, but M Train was so beautiful and I loved it so much. It just, there are no words for what Patti Smith as a writer makes me feel at all, and she is able, even though her writing is non-fiction, she is able to make her life seem fiction because of how beautifully she writes. Even when what she writes about is tragic, like death and loss and deep emotions and witnessing hard, horrible things, there is such beauty to it. And the most lovely thing about this is I think it came to me at the right time. You know, she talks a lot about just sitting in a coffee shop and reading and writing and witnessing strangers, and it felt like a breath. I just felt like I was breathing when I read this book, and I haven't felt like that with the book since Just Kids. So Patti Smith, 5 out of 5, #1, just favorite author in the world. Such an amazing book. I loved it. So the last book I have here is the Wes Anderson collection. I love this book. I walked into a store and I was on like a little family thing we were doing, and I was like all day, and I just walked into the store and it was right there in front of me as I walked through the doors, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I need to get this. So I got it and love it. This one 5 out of 5 as well, just because this is my favorite layout of all the West books I have. I have 3 West books at the moment. However, this book is the oldest, I believe, because it doesn't even talk about the Grand Budapest Hotel, which is my favorite West movie at the moment. I know The French Dispatch will replace that, but anyways, I just love the aesthetic of this fucking book. It is a lot of writing, like a lot to read, and like when I bought this I was like, I just wanna look at the pictures. But it's nice, and what I love about this book is actually a massive interview with Wes himself. The other books I have are not, but this is directly linked to Wes. He speaks throughout this entire book directly to the author, who is Matt Zoller Zietz, but they're friends. So yeah, I loved it. The aesthetic was beautiful, and I enjoyed listening to Wes talk about his passions. He just seems like such a cool guy, and I don't want to start fangirling about Wes Anderson right now. The embarrassment. But anyways, I loved it. 5 out of 5 for this book as well. And currently, I'm on the first fiction book I've read in like for 2 years properly, which is The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. My friend messaged me and was like, Mia, this is your book, you need to read it, like you would love it. So my mom got it for me and I started to read it. I'm just over halfway through right now, and I am really enjoying it, but I've seen videos, and like my friend for example, who are crying at the end of it, so I'm excited to see where this goes, because I don't know how it can get sad, if that makes sense. I'm not trying to give anything away, but I guess we'll find out in the next update, which I think will be in a few months, purely because I'm not going to have as much time. I'm going back to uni and I won't have as much time to read, unfortunately, which is literally the most tragic thing ever. But I will try my very hardest to do so. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Sorry for looking like a wet rat again. I love you guys. I hope you have an amazing week. And I hope to see you in my next video. Also, I'm binging Tyler Henry, the Hollywood medium, so everyone needs to leave me alone now so I can continue to be wowed by this man. I love you very much.